Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. We are back after being in France for quite some time on my hockey trip. I will tell some stories about, we will get into details on that, but first we are here for Sports Talk, so let's do a little bit of that first. The Philadelphia Eagles yesterday win a game against the Oakland Raiders in an ugly form. Now, we didn't speak at all about the New York Giants game where we struggled defensively for the third week in a row. But hey, Nick Foles threw 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The offense looked good, and here we are, the exact opposite the next week later. Nick Foles and this offense was disgustingly pitiful. I couldn't even stand to watch it. It made me throw up in my mouth. But on the other side, for the most part, and especially late, the defense played amazing. There's some guys I want to rip apart defensively. Jalen Mills dropping interceptions that could hurt us. We just get lucky and it doesn't. Getting beat so easily on these double move routes. Why? Where? What? How? What is happening? Jalen Mills. But we get the job done, right? We win the football game. We have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Do I think we have a chance to win the Super Bowl? No. And is that the main goal? Yes. If this was any other season where I did not have such high expectations to win the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be upset with our position. But the fact that 8, 9, 10 weeks into the season, Super Bowl was such a realistic goal, and my mind was so set on the Super Bowl, to see it falling slowly like this is torture. Torture. Now, last time I had episodes, it was the week of Carson Wentz's injury, and Monday, I was pissed. Monday, the day after the game, I was just pissed, upset, called it over, cried, and then by Wednesday, a whole new ball game. Optimism came around. So this is the day after. So right now, I'm pissed, upset, and crying. But the way that offense looked yesterday, oh my gosh, I'm cringing. It was terrible. We are 13-2. 13-2. And I feel bad. I feel bad about where we are. I don't have hope. I need people to start feeding me facts, even if they're garbage facts. Give me energy. I need something to think that this is a possibility. But there's no way football and you watch yesterday's game and you're going to tell me that Nick Foles can carry this team offensively to a Super Bowl. There is no way. Before we get into the game, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the 26th at this point. I hope everybody had happy holidays. And we'll have a great new year coming up here in the next couple days. Before we dissect this game, just a little bit about France. It was beautiful. We stayed in the French Alps. We saw Switzerland. We played 5 hockey games. We were there for 7 days. We won 4 of the games. I played 5 of the games. My body hurts me right now. Blocked a shot with my ankle, and the ankle is the size of a bowling ball right now, so I am limping around hard. Hopefully the swelling goes down. It is hurting me. But it was beautiful. The mountains were all over the place. We had a day to go skiing. I did not, because I've never been, and this was not the first time to try it out, I'll tell you. But I will never see anything like this again in my life. The mountains were just absolutely beautiful. Nothing you see here in South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. But it was a great time. I had a blast with my teammates. Now I have about a week off until I head back to school for the remaining of the winter break for our hockey season. So anyway, I had a great time. Just wanted to let you guys know it was a successful trip. So let's break down this Eagles, though, real quick. Taking a deep breath. The Eagle game takeaway. These were the takeaways from this game. The D played well, for the most part. Like I said, I ripped apart Jalen Mills a little bit. The defense played well. especially late in the game. They had some interceptions, their pass rush, their forced fumbles. Nick Foles and the offense struggled poorly. We clinched home field, and most importantly, we found a way to grind out a greasy win. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to find a way in this league to win those games that are just really hideous and ugly. And that's something we weren't able to do in the past, but with this team, it happened. People stepped up, and it was our defense. So here we go. Early on, the Birds punt the ball. Stuff's going to happen. It's going to take Nick Foles a little bit to get into the flow of the ball game. 4th and 2, Oakland goes for it, and our defense gets a big stop. Let's go. Good field position for the boys. We ran the football a lot. And in the beginning, running the football, beautiful. Later on in the game, it gets me a little upset, but when I realize who our quarterback is, it's like, I guess you really gotta figure it out. At one point, Gruden mentioned, it looks like Doug Peterson really can't figure out what to do. It looks like Doug Peterson is struggling on the play calling and is just getting outmatched on the other side. So we go for it on 4th and 1 with a very creative run to Clement, and he ends up getting a first down, which leads to Ajayi on a screen pass, getting a touchdown to give the Birds a 7-0 lead. Now this is when I notice we just keep running. Sometimes you got to start throwing the ball so we can open up some play action and we can open up some of the playbook. 3rd and 7, 11 seconds left in the first quarter. There was a holding on the defense after an incomplete throw from Foles to Aguilar, which kind of saved the boys a little bit here. So what do we do next? We run to Ajayi again. Now the second quarter starts. And this is where Jalen Mills gets torched by a double move by Amari Cooper for a 60-plus yard touchdown. And they kept showing that in film. Showing it on the replay. How many times this Eagles defense have gotten beaten on a move like that in the last couple weeks? I mean, the film's out there at this point. The film is out there, and that is what scares me. Because teams are going to recognize how to beat the Eagles. What beats the Eagles offensively? You watch the Giants game. You watch these... I mean, come on. How are you getting torched that badly? Chris Long, who had a beautiful football game. Besides the one play where he forced the fumble and started celebrating and didn't realize the football was still live. But we will get there. Chris Long had a sack. But they claimed he was offsides. They showed the replay. I didn't see it. I thought it was a beautiful jump. But they call offsides. Now here was a play where Amari Cooper mossed 2 of our defenders. Now it was an offensive holding, so the play didn't count. But Derek Carr threw the ball up. We had 2 defenders on Amari Cooper, and somehow he comes down with the football. Now I know the play didn't count, but that's just ridiculous. And at the time, the 2 defenders did not know that there was a flag on the play. So what are you doing? That's the little stuff you got to notice. What is our defense doing at times? That could seriously come back to hurt us at any point during a football game in the future when it matters, because playoffs is upon us. 4th and 3. Doug Peterson ends up going for it. Little skeptical, but live and die by your coaching. By your coaching ways. And I will give Doug Peterson credit. He's got faith. He goes for it. He doesn't back down. The only time I've ever seen him back down was against that Seattle game. I thought he coached the game differently. Other than that, he lives and dies by his thoughts, and he goes for it. 41 seconds left in the second half. Zach Ertz gets the first down. But this leads to Elliott missing a field goal at the end of the first half. So we are sitting at a tied ball game, 7-7. That's the score, 7-7. Derek Carr, by the way, just looks like a totally different animal. He doesn't even look close to what he was last year after that injury. My New England Patriots fan teammate says, "Look at Derek Carr. You're looking at the next Carson Wentz. Gets a leg injury, will never be the same." I told him words that I can't say right now on the air. So to start the third quarter, Oakland gets a field goal to make it 10-7. 4:16 left in the third quarter. Patrick Robinson with a huge interception over the middle. And I said before that play started, it was 3rd and 5. And I put a little star in my notepad. Crucial play. I thought this was a big part of the game. A crucial play. We're down 3. It's 3rd and 5. We need the football back. What are we going to do? Apparently that crucial play was big for Patrick Robinson, too, to get that interception. Now Nelson Aguilar drops the next throw deep downfield. It was a little short, totally catchable for NFL receivers. No doubt about it. Now here's Ajayi running the football, going for extra yards. What does he do? Fumble the football, go down. I don't care about these 3-4 extra yards. I don't care anymore. I get it. You're trying to show your toughness. I understand all that. Go down. I'd rather have the football to give the other team the football on a fumble for an extra yard. But Marshawn Lynch fumbles the next play. Marshawn Lynch hasn't lost a fumble yet this season. I think they even said he hasn't even dropped the football yet this season. Fumbles on the next play. This is where the emotion started flying for me. I couldn't even believe it. So we have the football back. Foles just not accurate at this point. At one point earlier, I didn't write this down, but he missed Ertz in the end zone. And at this point, he misses Ertz again. And Alshon Jeffrey threw the ball behind him. I thought Jeffrey probably could have still caught it, knowing what kind of receiver he is, but it was a bad throw by Nick Foles. So we settle for a field goal to make it 10-10. Fourth quarter starts. This is when Chris Long gets the sack, fumble, makes a beautiful play, doesn't realize that there was a fumble, and Malcolm Jenkins has to save the day by stopping them in the backfield. John Gruden absolutely loved Malcolm Jenkins. The amount of times they showed clips of him playing strong safety, free safety, middle linebacker, nickel back. Just playing every single position on the football field last night. But anyway, we force a punt on that because that was a 3rd down situation. The amount of bad snaps I noticed in this football game. Was it Nick Foles? Was it the center? Bad snaps. Couldn't handle the snaps. There was a play where Nick Foles just kept dropping back, trying to escape, trying to make Carson Wentz plays. At some point, Nicky Six, throw the football away because it cost us. Lost a lot of yards. We have to give the football back to them. Jalen Mills, missed interception. Darby, crucial penalty right after that to keep them alive on their drive. So here the Raiders are for a 48-yard field goal to take the lead. They missed. Hallelujah. Next play. Nick Foles. Little tiny short pass to Ajayi. Gets intercepted and picked off after hitting Ajayi's hands. But it was a bad throw. I'm sitting here. I have laughing emojis in my notepad. But they're like upset, devastated, laughing emojis. So here comes the Oakland Raiders. This fourth quarter was very emotional for me to handle. 2nd and 20. I'm clapping for our D. I think we got him where we want him. They get a 2nd and 20 screen pass, 1st down. And then I think it was Nigel Bradham at this point is talking smack after the hit. Bruh, you just let up a 2nd and 20 on a screen. What smack are you talking about right now? So Malcolm Jenkins comes up huge with a strip, but they called the runner was down. The officials clearly disgusted and noticed that he punched it out before the runner was down. At this point on 3rd down, we are 1 for 12. We're supposed to be the best team in the football on 3rd downs, but that makes sense. Carson Wentz is a different breed. 3 and out. Nick Foles stinks. That was my next note. Stinks. I couldn't even handle it last night. I could not. 1 minute and 7 seconds left on the clock. Oakland ball on their 48. What will happen? No Brandon Graham. Darby, pick 6. He runs all the way down the field, but he was down. No, clearly noticeable down. They bring the ball back. But huge play by Darby. Great interception. After last week, with all that criticism, with all those tweets, with that flag that was huge earlier in the football game to keep the Oakland drive alive, he comes up huge once again with another pick. So here we are, under a minute left on our own 48-yard line. How will we do this? We have a missed field goal already. It is very windy there in Philadelphia. Foles, short gain up the middle. It's now 2nd and 5 with 49 seconds left. We hit Aguilar up the middle, but could not get out of bounds. Timeout. 1st and 10 on Oakland 39 with 38 seconds left. You throw a sideline throw to Ertz. Same exact play. We are now at 3rd and 2. Same exact play again. But Corey Clement drops it. So there's 27 seconds left. 48-yarder. Jake Elliott missed a field goal already. Drills it. 13-10, the Eagles take the lead. At this point, there's 21 seconds left. The Raiders cannot get the job done. They're throwing laterals on the last play of the game. Derek Barnett scoops it and makes it 19-10, and we clinch home field advantage. We ended up with 1 for 14 on 3rd downs. The Eagles find a way to win. A very emotional game for me, and I'm sure the players as well. So, I mean, that was my rundown on the game. The 4th quarter had a lot of action in it. Some turnovers. The D stepped up. But we are 13-2, and I just don't feel good about it. I don't. I just watch, and I say there's no possible way that this can actually happen. There's no way. Do you guys really think that there's a possibility, watching that offense last night, that there is a way that we could be able to beat the Saints, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Panthers? No. The answer is no. I'm sorry. And I hate to be that guy. We have a group chat, me and my buddies. We discuss the Eagles. We talk the Eagles. Shout out to the Hollydale boys. I'm the one that's always upset. I'm the one that's bringing the energy down, but I'm just stating facts. Nick Foles, 163 yards, 19 of 38. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's move on. We have to move on. Because there were other things that went around the NFL. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, my man, is still undefeated and takes down a Jacksonville team. One of the best defenses, if not the best, ranked in the NFL. And Jimmy Garoppolo still undefeated as a starter. My man, how can you hate this story? 21 for 30, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. This is a beautiful story. I love it. I actually love it. This man sits behind Tom Brady for how long? And finally gets a gig to consistently start. And he's torching the best defenses in the league. Now, there was a play last week with Jesse James and the Steelers and the Patriots late in the game. We all know which play this is. It's been talked about for how long. In my opinion, that should be a touchdown. But by the letter of the rule, it is not a touchdown. It is a rule. The written rule is what's pathetic, not the call. It's the correct call, technically, but that should be a touchdown. Now, this week, the Patriots played the Bills, and there was a similar play on the field. The call was a touchdown. The receiver snuck 2 feet in. They reviewed it and said there was actually enough evidence to turn this ball back around and say no touchdown. They're telling me there was enough evidence. And the fact that this keeps happening against the Patriots is what is ridiculous. And you talk to any Patriots or Boston fans about it, they just laugh. Hey, more power to you. I guess you can. But how many times is this going to happen with the Patriots? It's just ridiculous. There was no way in hell there was enough evidence to turn that call around. And they get it. And it's always against the Patriots. It's just ridiculous. I can't process it. And Earl Thomas, after the Cowboys and Dallas game, Earl Thomas is running through the hallways to get to their head coach saying, come get me. Come get me. Now, I get it. You want to play for Dallas. That is not the right time to do it. That is not how you do it. And what do you think the people in Seattle are thinking? What about your teammates when you're ready to go to battle right now in playoffs? You're going to tell Dallas to come get you? I think that's immature and not the right way to handle that at all. I can't believe that you think that that would be a situation where it's the right time to go up to a head coach of a Dallas Cowboys team and say, hey, in this offseason, come get me. And after the game, you were interviewed at your stall, and you said, oh, I didn't mean that now. I'm just saying if these guys don't pay me here and see. What? What? I just don't get it. And DeAndre Hopkins, yesterday on Christmas, had an amazing catch. It was offensive pass interference without a doubt. You can see his left hand grabbing the defender, grabbing his jersey, pushing off. Clearly pass interference, but it doesn't take away from how ridiculous and insane that catch truly was. I mean, catch of the year, no doubt about it. Shouldn't be, though. And the refereeing in the NFL is just unbelievable. I don't understand how terrible it can get. But it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse every single year and every single game. I just don't get it. I don't know how to fix it, though, so I guess I'm just as bad as anybody else who works for NFL. But let's move on because there was Christmas Day basketball. And I'll get to the Sixers, but before I do that, real quick, controversial LeBron and KD situation late in the game. LeBron had the ball at the top of the key. He drives the lane, and KD's playing D on him. Any other time in a basketball game, that is a foul. No doubt about it. He hit him, not the ball, 2 times. And I get it. I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I don't want that to be a foul. Technically, I kind of like them to let him play, which is where I come with my next point. It's the end of the game, and they're letting the guys play, and I understand that, and they call the game differently late in games. They do. They let them play a little more. It was technically a foul, yes. Do I like the no call? I'm going to have to agree and say yes. I don't want to be biased towards LeBron because he is my favorite athlete ever. It was a foul, no doubt about it. Late in a game, though, you're going to take it to the hoop. You know you're going to get contact. And I get it. You shouldn't call the game differently on late possessions just because the game is coming down the line. But, you know what? I'll take letting guys play over ticky-tack calls any day of the week. So, sorry, LeBron. It was a foul. It kills me to say this. My heart is sad saying this. But it was a foul. I liked the no call late in the basketball game. And they were both asked about it after the game in their post-game interviews, and they clearly both had different views on it. I mean, obviously. But let's go Sixers. Christmas Day. I mean, Philadelphia goes 2-0 on Christmas, and we're still upset about it. Christmas Day. The 76ers open off at 12 o'clock against the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden and pull out a 105-98 win. Now, I haven't been able to discuss the Sixers since I was here before France, and they went through a rough patch. And it was ugly. People are criticizing Brett Brown, the rotation, Ben Simmons not shooting the basketball, not being able to finish out games late, which is a huge problem. Joel Embiid not playing because he's sore and he's injured and 3 games off after a triple overtime against the Thunder. I just need to take more deep breaths about this. We found the way to win this basketball game. I mean, Joel Embiid is clearly the most dominant man on the Sixers squad. Now, Ben Simmons is great, but with him not being able to shoot, he's just a great facilitator and opens the floor, but we need somebody else. I don't think this team is as great as we thought it was. I mean, the bench is just undescribable how bad that this bench really is. But to go over this is Porzingis versus Embiid. That was the big matchup on the day. J.J. Redick had 24 points, 6 rebounds. Embiid finishes with 25 points, 16 rebounds. Ben Simmons, 4 for 8 from the field, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Porzingis, 22.7 boards. And Cantor, 31 points, 22 rebounds. He was the star for the Knicks, although they fall. The Sixers right now are 15 and 18. Oh, that kills me. It really does kill me. I mean, we're not in playoffs right now, with the Knicks being 17 and 16. We are 2 games back from the 8th seed. We need playoffs in Philadelphia with this basketball squad. I get we're going to go through ups and downs with this basketball team. We are very young. And I'm not necessarily pissed off completely about the rotation with Brett Brown because we just don't have the talent. Let's be real. It's not the rotation. It's talent. We just don't have it. We are not as strong as we thought we were. But there are questionable times with Brett Brown that I think when it comes to plays, when it comes to timeouts, late in games, I think there are situations where Brett Brown needs to step it up a little bit. But it's the same kind of thing I'm going to say about Doug Peterson. The guys, it seems, love to play for the man, and that is huge. Coming from someone who played hockey for coaches that are absolute beauties, and I would go to war for them any single day of the week, or if it comes from coaches I had in the past where it's, man, this guy is something else. And it changes the culture of the locker room. I think Doug Peterson clearly has a little bit more because they're 13-2, best team in football, and the Sixers are struggling a little bit. But when it comes to personality of the head coach, there's clearly something there for the 76ers team to thrive off of. I just think we got to get it together. It's like the Flyers. Hey, you go through some rough patches in a season, and it teaches you and helps you learn, and this team is young. Real young. So coming up here for the Sixers, we have off until Thursday, where we play the Trailblazers. We hit this West Coast trip right now on TNT, 10:30. The only thing that sucks is I come home for Christmas break. I'm here for about a week before I have to go back, like I said. No Sixers home games. No Flyers home games. I just want to go check out a good sporting event here in Philadelphia. All right, I don't get the great city of Philadelphia sports fans down in Maryland when I'm at school. So I just want to come home, grab a cold one at the Wells Fargo, whether there's ice or it's a court, watch Embiid or watch Giroux, and have a good time with my friends. But no, here I am sitting in my basement waiting for NHL 18 to download on my Xbox. Which is all fair. But there were other games that went around the NBA, obviously, on Christmas. I love the Christmas NBA specials. It's beautiful. The Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. We already had the discussion about the controversial call, but 99-92. Kevin Love had 31 points and 18 boards. He had a phenomenal game, especially shooting from the 3. He had 6 3-pointers. LeBron James had 20 points. Kevin Durant had 25. Klay Thompson had 24. Swaggy P only logging in 11 minutes. Remember when Swaggy P was here in Philadelphia? Oh, man, what a character that man is. No lie. The Celtics fall at home, I was surprised. 111-103 to the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal with 25 and 8. John Wall with 21 points, 14 assists, and 5 rebounds. Good night for him. Kyrie with 20. But I'm surprised that they fell at home. The Thunder, the struggling Thunder, defeat the Houston Rockets, who's the hottest team in the NBA. This Thunder team, it's like they have the players, obviously. They have a big 3. They just got to figure it out on the roles. Russell Westbrook, 31 and 11. Paul George, 24. Carmelo, 20. They just got to have more, what's the word I'm looking for? Chemistry. Their chemistry needs to just flow a little bit better, and that'll happen. I get it. You're just throwing 3 superstars who was all the top players on their team at one point just together and saying, here we go. Let's have a season in a Western Conference that's clearly tough, but you're beating teams like the Rockets. You should be able to beat some of these other squads. And the Lakers and the Timberwolves finish off the night, and the Timberwolves win 121-104. How did Lonzo do? Kuzma had 31. That's right. I saw a report that Lonzo has shoulder soreness, so he will not be playing for some time. He's out for a little bit, but I don't think it's anything too serious. Just making sure he'll be all right for the future. So, anyway, this is where we are going to end Sports Talk with Brodes. We are back. I'm so excited to finally be able to make episodes again. I will be very fluent on the episode making. I just had to take a little break, obviously, because I was in France, so don't worry about it. The Eagles are 13-2, and I'm upset. How? What? It's hard to process. Let's just enjoy the ride and see where it takes us. Thank you so much, and see you again next time.